Amelia stepped back, folding her arms tighter around herself as if that could block the sudden unease that crept in. Lorenzo's face had lost the mocking edge she was used to. It wasn't charm or arrogance, now it was focus. For someone like him, seriousness was almost unsettling. "You don't know anything," she said, though it came out weaker than she intended. "Maybe not," he replied, voice low, "but I know the look of two old men trying to move pieces on a chessboard. And Principessa, I think we're their next move." The way he said we made her skin prickle. She hated the idea that her life might be tangled up with his, more than it already was by default. The rivalry between their families had been drilled into her since childhood. "De Lucas are snakes," her father used to say. "Never trust a De Lucas smile." And Lorenzo's was the worst of them, disarming, persistent, and impossible to ignore. She turned back toward the city lights, trying to steady her breath. "If you're here to warn me, consider it done. Now go back to your little entourage inside." His footsteps sounded on the stone floor behind her, closer this time. "You really don't like me, huh?" She gave a short laugh. "You're perceptive. I could change your mind," he said lightly. She rolled her eyes. "Not in this lifetime." He hummed. "Lifetime's a long time. Amelia, a lot can happen." She spun around to face him, the breeze catching a strand of her hair. His eyes followed the movement, lingering for a second too long before meeting hers. "Why do you do this?" she demanded. "Do what?" "Act like everything is some kind of game. Like none of this matters. Family's power, danger, it's not a joke." He tilted his head, a flicker of something more honest passing over his face. "Maybe that's exactly why I treat it like a game, because if I start taking it too seriously, I'll end up like them." The them didn't need explanation. Their fathers, the men who built empires on fear and loyalty, and taught their children to do the same. For a heartbeat, neither of them spoke. The silence was different, no, not sharp, but layered. Then the door to the balcony opened again, and a man in a dark suit appeared. One of Lorenzo's men. He gave a quick nod. "Boss wants you inside. There's been a change of plans." Lorenzo's expression shifted back to that easy grin, though now it felt more like a mask sliding into place. "Duty calls." He stepped back, but not before leaning close enough for her to catch the scent of expensive cologne, and something sharper underneath. "Try not to miss me too much, Rossi." She exhaled slowly after he left, annoyed at herself for letting their conversation linger in her mind. Inside, the gala was shifting. People were clustering in tighter groups, voices lowered. She caught sight of her father talking with Lorenzo's father, both surrounded by men in suits. Her stomach tightened again. A few minutes later, Antonio Rossi gestured for her to join him. When she approached, Lorenzo was already standing there, hands in his pockets like he owned the room. "Amelia," her father said, "there are some developments you need to hear." She looked from him to Lorenzo, then back. "I'm listening." Antonio's tone was measured, the kind he used when negotiations were delicate. "The De Luca family is proposing an operational partnership, shared territory, shared protection." She blinked. "That's impossible." "It's happening," Lorenzo's father said smoothly. "And to make sure no one questions the strength of this new alliance, we're solidifying it publicly." Amelia's instincts flared. "What does that mean?" Antonio hesitated just long enough for the answer to hit her. Lorenzo grinned, like someone who'd just watched a firework go off. "It means, Tesoro, that you and I are about to become the city's favorite power couple." Her breath caught. "No, it's temporary," Antonio cut in. "A staged engagement, nothing more. The deal benefits both families, and your cooperation is expected." Expected, not requested. Her hands clenched at her sides. "You can't be serious." Antonio's eyes softened just a fraction. "This is bigger than us, Amelia." She wanted to scream, to throw the glass in her hand against the wall, to remind him that she wasn't a pawn to be moved for convenience. But years of control kept her voice cold instead. "You're making a mistake." Lorenzo leaned closer, voice low but laced with that ever-present tease. "Cheer up, Principessa, could be worse. At least I'm good-looking." She gave him a glare, sharp enough to cut. "I'd rather marry a bullet." He laughed, but his eyes held a spark of something she couldn't quite place.